welcome to our live once again. My name is Sada Farooq. I am a career counselor at Future Serve Overseas Education Peshawar. With me is
Ammer Owais, thank you.
our IELTS and ESL trainer. Today's topic is importance of English for children. But before before talking on the topic, let me tell you what basically Future Serve is for those who are new to our life. Future Serve is basically education advisors, and we provide services to students who aspire to go abroad for their studies.
That's
we
great.
provide three different services to the students. The first one is career counseling, of course, obviously, and the second one is international exposure. Then we have skills development. In career counseling, we provide advices and genuine advices to the students who wants to go abroad and who wants to study abroad. We help them in getting admission, filing for their visa and other requirements. And in international exposure, as I have told this several times, that our top management has been settled in UK for the last 17 to 18 years. So they know the culture and how you should survive, how you can survive over there. In international exposure, we basically provide guidance to our student how you can survive in abroad, how you can survive in a country where you want to go for studies. And in the last, but not least, of course, skills development. In skills development, we provide services, we provide guidance to the students who wants to go there and get a job. So to get a job, we basically guide them for their required skills, for the skills that they would require there. For example, if someone is really into IT and computers, we suggest them to go for graphic designing, web development, and all these things. And if someone is good with their communication skills, we ask them to you should get a little bit training of front desk officer and cashier and all these things. So that was a short intro of Future Serve. Coming back towards our topic today, that is the importance of English for children. First of all, I would like Sir to tell us how much important English is for children.
Okay, in the name of Almighty Allah, who is the most merciful and beneficent, the King of the Kings and the King of the Day of Resurrection. We've come after a long time, and for that reason, we had a lot of sessions before, and we discussed about the importance of English in several fields and tasks, right? Today, the topic is about the importance of English in children. About myself, I'm a father of daughter, alhamdulillah, and what I have thought for her is that I will fundamentally focus on English language in her academic life. Why? Because she is only 7 months old so far. She's a cute little pie, right?
Mashallah.
She's a very she is a kid. Like she has not literally come into her senses. But as soon as she grows older and as soon as she steps in her academic life, I would say taking admissions in the schools and all that, right?
Yeah.
Before giving admission to her, I will work on her English communication. Now, there is a phenomena behind it. Do you know what that means? I will not highlight the hidden points. I will just highlight the points which have not yet been exposed to the market. I would say, we're living in 21st century. We've got a lot of schools. We've got a lot of educational terminologies. We've got a lot of educational institutes, right, who are teaching the courses which are of one of the toughest courses I've ever come across. I'll give you a very simple example of one of my cousins, right? Her daughter is 6 years old, right, and she took her admission in play group, if I'm not wrong. And do you remember the subjects or the things what she is being taught? It is of the 7th class what I studied in my childhood. I still remember that it was, we studied about the morphology, and we study about the history of the words, and it was taught to that kid in playgroup, and I was like shocked. I mean, what are these? What are they doing actually? They're teaching them the things what we studied in 6th and 7th class. Means that they are enhancing their educational terminologies, and they're literally bringing the parts which have not yet been introduced to the market. So if I say that, okay, English is important for me, all of these subjects are in English.
Yeah.
Apart from that, owning to the fact that I'm living in Pakistan, I've got I've got Urdu as my native language, I've got Pashto and Hindko as my dialects. I've got relatives, I've got friends, I've got several connections with the community. In that, I have separate languages. But if you talk about English in there, so English is the language which is given with the foremost priority. Now, if I say that why is English important for the children, I would say that in future each and everything is in English. I mean, you will be receiving these subjects, and you will be studying the subjects which have not yet been introduced to the market. And I would simply say that yes, if English language is not taught, and if the children are not focused on English communication, they will definitely face problems in the future. Okay, let me give another example. If a child grows, he goes, he promotes by grading, right? He will be promoted to the first standard and second standard and third standard and so on, right? So the level of the education will increase. And that is the point what I said before, that they are teaching one of the toughest courses. Now the example of Afaq is there. It is a good course, but besides this, I would say Oxford course. Now, this Oxford course is introduced to many schools and many educational institutes. And do you remember? I would say that. Do you remember? I had said in my previous lectures that English will become a widespread language around the globe. And if my students and if my viewers remember, I had also discussed that English will become English will bring a revolution in the future. How will it bring revolution in the future? Because every single thing will be converted into English language. Why? Because it is ESL. It is known, spoken, and understood by majority of the people around the globe. That is the reason that English is given with the preference and priority and prestige and privilege and all that. So that is the case that if we do not treat our children from their initial stages, from their learning stages, they will definitely face problems in the future. Why? Because they are receiving the course which is difficult,
Yes.
unable to understand, unable to rectify, unable to commemorate, and unable to put in their brains. So that is the case, madam, that English is very important for the children. Now, it does not matter. Age does not matter. Age, I would repeat again, does not matter.
Yeah.
You have to work on English communication for them. You have to teach them. You have to tell them that how to communicate with the people. Yes, language is it is a thing which you can learn with the help of the surroundings, with the help of the environment. Now, if I give an example of Pashto, right? So you were a Pathan, right? And you did not take any Pashto language classes, but still you could speak better Pashto
Yes.
than me. Why? Because you lived in the surroundings, your brothers, sisters, uncle, aunts, nephews, relatives, and all that.
Friends and colleagues,
They spoke
everyone
English.
speak this language.
They spoke in Pashto with you.
Yeah.
That is the case. You learned Pashto better than me. Same as the example for me. I can speak 6 languages, right? Alhamdulillah. I've got command over 6 languages. How did I learn all these languages? I did not take any English language classes before. I did not take any Pashto language classes before. I did not take any Chatrali language classes before. I can speak 6 languages. I did not take any Hindko language classes, but still I can speak it better. Now, that is the side of another coin. The first side of the coin was environment. The second side of the coin is that you have to have a good hand upon the hands of your children. Means that, I blame you for nothing. I blame my own self that I did not work hard in my childhood. At that time it was a past era. It was 1993. It was like, around 28, 29 years ago. So, at that time, the time was changed.
Yeah.
Today, we have stepped in 21st century. We've got latest technology. We've got latest inventions. We've got latest things. We've got latest rules and regulations. We've got latest promotions in the market. So what you need to do is, now, for example, if I do not know how to use this little cell phone, right? I would say, okay, this cell phone is in English. Yes, I will change its language into my own language. But what if I cannot use the built-in language in there? Means it is my negligence. Why? Because it is the loophole. And that is a socio-cultural environment. We talk about the dyads, we talk about the sociograms, we talk about the structural wholes, and like we talk about the majority of the things which have been promoted to the market, which have been now that is an interdisciplinary subject, if I'm not wrong. Now, if I talk about English language related to the other subjects, it is interdisciplinary. Means that without learning English, you will not be able to learn bio, chemistry, physics,
Any of the subjects.
any of the subject except Islamiyat and Urdu.
Yes,
and maybe they convert Islamiyat in English as well, except for Urdu.
They did. My sister,
They did.
she was back in Lahore Lyceum, I guess, and there they used to study Islamiyat in Urdu. But we transferred her from Lahore Lyceum to St. Francis, and now they are studying it in English. And she says
See.
that I'm facing lots of problem because the vocabulary is new, the terminologies are new. I can't understand what they are teaching us.
Oh wow! Like this is something very new that you shared.
Yeah,
Means
she's in
that
seventh
only Urdu
class.
is left. Only Urdu is left.
Yeah.
So like what?
So
Once you have to study in university, you have to study 50 subjects in 4 semesters, in 8 semesters. In schools, you have to study 8 subjects. So among 8 subjects, 7 subjects are in English. So give me an answer. Would you be able to understand if you do not have good communication skills?
No,
if you
not
do
at
not know anything
all,
about
not
English,
at
now
all.
this is an open example, right?
Yeah.
Now this is an open example. I would say, okay, if I do not know about the verb, right? So how will I be solving the problems? For example, in mathematical terminologies, if I'm given with a question that there are 5 people sitting in the class, and among 5 people, 2 people went outside of the class. So how many are left? So if I take the example of
Yes.
went, so went is verb. If I do not know what went means, I will not be able to give the answers. I will say, okay, 3 went, 2 are sitting. So I would say that, okay, yes, 3 are left and 2 are gone. It will be the negative answer for me. Why? Because I do not know anything about the English communication. Now, why do I focus on English communication again and again? Why do I work on English communication again and again? Why do I tell my students that, come on, just learn this thing. It is not difficult. Anything is possible in this world. Now, you have to work hard. You have to give a bit of important time to it. Then you will improve your English communication, and the time will come that you will make yourself a successful person. Why? Because look at me. I've got a lot of interactions with the people. I've got a lot of interactions even outside of Pakistan. I've got my friends from China, Japan, Korea, South Africa, and I've got my friends from Australia, and they're coming from Australia to Pakistan in upcoming week, right? So they are coming. They're coming to Pakistan just to meet with me. Why? Because I've got good connection with them. I've got good business with them, right? I just deal in fiber with them, right? So they're coming to Pakistan. They will have a good correspondence with me, and maybe I sign an MOU with them for the future business purposes. So like that is the case, that if the children are taught that how to interact from their early stages, they will not have any issues, any problems, any hurdles when they grow older. Now, yes, you have to teach them how to pay salam, how to greet. Now, वो ज़माने चले गए कि हम A for apple, B for ball पढ़ा करते थे. Now, even the children are taught that A for astronauts and B for something else.
Yeah.
The difficult vocabularies. So that is the case, that the children are taught with a high amount of classes. They're taught with the high amount of the what do you guys call it? The educational terminologies, or a bit higher, or a bit excluded, or a bit enhanced amount of subjects they are taught. So I will not go. I will definitely understand. And besides this, I would say that, okay, if the children are taught English in the initial stages, they will not have any issues. They will not have any problems. And yes, they will be achieving their goals, and they will be studying in a well manner. Why? Because English is dependent on it. They're taught in English language. And if they do not know how to negotiate, how to correspond, how to give answers, means it's a negligence point. It's a negative point, and that is a negligence of the parents as well. That about myself, I will ask the question from myself. If my daughter fails in the examinations, I will blame myself. Why? Because I did not teach her in a well manner. It was my responsibility, and it is my responsibility, and it will be my responsibility to take care of her and to train her and to teach her that, yes, but you have to do this. You should not do that. And that is what I have to focus on English communication if I want my daughter to get succeeded in her life. because in future we have a toughest competition, madam. We have got a lot of the population is being increased day by day. So if the population increases, it means that we will have less opportunities, we will have low opportunities. So for that purpose, in order to gain that opportunity, you have to fight, you have to tackle, you have to bring expertise in you. Then you will be entertained in an enterprise or an interview or any job or somewhere. So in order to think for future, you have to take the initial stages from now, and from today even. So you will start, you will take the steps, you will perform the duties in a well manner, and you will go with the passage of time. So I think the answer has become a bit longer, but I hope I have given a brief explanation of importance
Plus,
of English.
I would like to add something that as a graduate of English, I have always been taught that if you start teaching any language to children from a very a young age, it will be easier for them to learn it, because as they grow older, the mind starts learning things, and the mind starts storing more things. So they find it difficult to learn language. So it is always been suggested that if you want someone to learn the language, you should start training them from a very young age.
Yes, from the initial stages.
Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
Yes.
जब वो मम्मा बाबा बोलना सीख जाए, तो उसके बाद जो है जब वो अपने होश संभाल ले, तो उसको इंग्लिश पे उसको डाइवर्ट करें। कोशिश करें कि आप इंग्लिश में बात करें अपने घर में, अपने सराउंडिंग्स में। आप अपने जो घर में आपके जो मेंबर्स हैं, आप उनको बोलें कि आप इंग्लिश में बात करें, ताकि वो बच्चा सीखे। क्योंकि फ्यूचर में मैडम बहुत टफ एक कंपटीशन आने वाला है, मैं बता नहीं सकता आपको। वी विल हैव अ टफेस्ट कंपटीशन। आपको पता है हमारे पास कॉलेज में सीट्स नहीं होंगी। क्यों? क्योंकि इतने स्टूडेंट्स हो चुके होंगे और वो इतने एक्सपर्ट होंगे कि वो आपसे पहले आपकी सीट ले लेंगे। अब एक यूनिवर्सिटी है, उसकी जो लिमिट्स है वो 50 चेयर्स हैं। 10,000 स्टूडेंट्स ने जो है वो अप्लाई कर दिया, तो क्या होगा? जो एक्सपर्ट है, जो सही है, जो ग्रेट है, जो कि टैलेंटेड है, उनको लिया जाएगा ना। तो उसके लिए आपको टैलेंटेड बनना पड़ेगा। कैसे टैलेंटेड बनोगे? जब आप उस ट्रैक को अपने साथ आगे लेकर जाओगे। अब आपके पास वो ट्रैक ही नहीं है, आपको पता नहीं है कि मैंने बस में चढ़ना है कि मैंने हवाई जहाज में चढ़ना है, आपको नहीं पता। अगर आपको पता चल जाए कि हाँ मैंने इस इंग्लिश के ट्रैक को पकड़ना है और मैंने इंग्लिश को सीखना है और मैंने इंग्लिश में लोगों से बातें करनी है और मैंने अपनी एक्सपर्टीज इंग्लिश में इतनी अच्छी बनानी है कि एक बंदा उर्दू में बात कर रहा हो और मैं उसको इंग्लिश में टाइप कर लूं, ये एक्सपर्टीज होनी चाहिए। मैडम, यू नो व्हाट आई मीन। मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूं? मैं आई हैव पर्सनली बीन थ्रू सच क्रूशियल एनवायरनमेंट एंड सच क्रूशियल सिचुएशंस कि एक बंदा दूसरी लैंग्वेज में बात कर रहा है, पश्तो में बात कर रहा है, और आप उसको टक 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 अपने लैपटॉप में इंग्लिश में कन्वर्ट कर दो। आपकी ये एक्सपर्टीज होनी चाहिए। आपकी इंग्लिश इतनी स्ट्रांग होनी चाहिए कि अगर कोई आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछे तो आप उसके 10 आंसर्स दे दो। आपके पास इतनी नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, आपके पास इतनी इंग्लिश की एक्सपर्टीज होनी चाहिए। तो ये इनिशियल स्टेज से आता है। वो कहते हैं ना कि जब इंसान का फाउंडेशन मजबूत हो, तो फाउंडेशन जब मजबूत हो तो आप उस पर बुर्ज खलीफा खड़ा कर देते हो। और अगर आपकी फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग ना हो तो 2 मंजिल आप खड़े करेंगे, सिर्फ 2, एंड इट विल कोलैप्स।
यस, एग्जैक्टली, दैट्स ट्रू।
तो ये रीजन है कि इंग्लिश बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। बच्चों के लिए तो हद से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
Like we cannot say that इसका जो है इसका कोई फ़ायदा ही नहीं है इंग्लिश सिखाने का, because with how much the world is growing technically and everything, this is becoming a requirement for us.
Yes, 100% agreed. Yes. 100% agreed.
And you cannot just shove it up. You cannot say that this is not true. वो कहते हैं ना कि आंखें बंद करने से बिल्ली गायब नहीं होने वाली। ठीक। तो अगर हम ये कहना स्टार्ट कर दें कि मतलब ये लैंग्वेज जो है वो तो कोई नहीं है, बस हम अपनी लैंग्वेज, यस वी शुड कीप आवर लैंग्वेज, वी शुड it's very very important to transfer our language to our younger generation. बिल्कुल। But you should also train them with other languages as well.
वो बंदा सराउंडिंग्स के साथ देखें, ये अगर आप उनको ट्रेन करती है ना अदर लैंग्वेजेस की, वो ऑटोमेटिकली सीख लेता है। ठीक है, मिस्टर बॉब जो है वो एक बहुत अच्छे राइटर गुजरे इंग्लिश हिस्ट्री के, एलिज़ाबेथन एज के इरा के, तो वो उन्होंने कहा कि एक एनवायरनमेंट जो है इट इज़ द बेस्ट ट्रेनर एंड द बेस्ट ट्यूटर ऑफ अ पर्सन। यानी मैंने एग्जांपल आपको दिया मैडम दैट आई डिड नॉट टेक एनी पश्तो लैंग्वेज क्लासेस विद एनी पश्तो टीचर, बट आई स्पोक इन पश्तो। व्हाई? बिकॉज इट वाज माय एनवायरनमेंट। इंग्लिश इज नॉट आवर एनवायरनमेंट।
Yes.
मसला ये है कि इंग्लिश हमारी एनवायरनमेंट नहीं है, इसीलिए वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन इंग्लिश ताकि हम वो एनवायरनमेंट को बनाएं। व्हाई डिड आई से इन द स्टार्ट ऑफ माय प्रेजेंटेशन दैट वी हैव टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश इन आवर सराउंडिंग्स, बिकॉज आउटसाइड ऑफ द क्लास or outside of the room we were speaking Pashto, but in the class or in the particular surroundings or an environment you have to speak in English. Like when you go outside and when you want to purchase a liter milk, so you will not be speaking in English with them that, hey man, I need a liter milk please. You're not in England, you're in Pakistan, so you will say kilo paira ka means you will speak in Pashto.
Yeah.
तो बाहर तो आप उसका जो है ना बड़ा सा थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा, लेकिन जब आप एक ऐसे एनवायरनमेंट में रहते हैं जहां पर आपकी इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन आप खुद बनाते हो, मतलब आपके भाई बहन अम्मी अबू माशाल्लाह सारे टैलेंटेड हैं, सारे एजुकेटेड हैं। मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई भी घर ऐसा होगा जिसमें कोई मास्टर्स से कम का बैठा हो, सब ने माशाल्लाह मास्टर्स किए हैं।
Yes.
तो लाइक वी आर लिविंग इन एन एजुकेटेड एनवायरनमेंट, तो उस एजुकेटेड एनवायरनमेंट का असर जो है वो बच्चे पर पड़ेगा। अगर मेरी बेटी इंग्लिश नहीं बोलती तो ये मेरी नेग्लिजेंस होगी। क्यों? क्योंकि मैं एक लेक्चरर, मैं आइल्स का ट्रेनर, मेरे भाई अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आइल्स के लेक्चरर ट्रेनर, अगर मेरी बेटी इंग्लिश में नहीं बोलती तो ये तो मेरी गलती हुई ना, क्योंकि मैंने उसको नहीं सिखाया।
Plus, people will be saying that you come here and teach us the language, but you are not focusing on your own home. You are not focusing on your family
Yes.
members.
अगर मेरे अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स को इंग्लिश नहीं आती तो ये मेरी नेग्लिजेंस है ना। लोग तो फिर मुझ पे उंगली उठाएंगे कि सर माशाल्लाह आप टीच करते हो, आप क्लास लेते हो, लेकिन आपके भाई जो है वो दे कैन नॉट स्पीक इन इंग्लिश, क्या मसला है? तो होता है ना, ये असल में लोग जो हैं पॉइंट आउट करने का बहाना ढूंढते हैं। इसीलिए जो है अपने बच्चों को अभी से उठाने की कोशिश करें, अभी से अपने बच्चों को इंग्लिश पर फोकस करने की कोशिश करें, क्योंकि अगर आपने अपने बच्चों पर फोकस नहीं किया तो वो बड़े होकर अगर उनको कोई मसला हुआ तो उंगली आप पर उठेगी, बिकॉज दे आर योर चिल्ड्रन ना।
Yes.
आप अपने बच्चों को सही तरह से सिखाएंगे क्योंकि आप तो मैच्योर हो माशाल्लाह, आपको पता है कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना, यू नो व्हाट टू डू एंड व्हाट नॉट। तो व्हाई नॉट टू टेक स्टेप फ्रॉम द इनिशियल स्टेजेस एंड व्हाई नॉट टू टीच देम इंग्लिश फ्रॉम द इनिशियल स्टेजेस। आप इंग्लिश में उनसे बात करें कि बेटे डू नॉट डू दिस, ओके थैंक यू, मींस जो कि नॉर्मल वर्ड्स हैं, जो कि जनरल फिनोमेना में यूज होते हैं।
And this will provide them with the confidence that they need to speak. We have always been suffered from this, that we as we didn't have the environment neither in school neither in home, because our era was not that much developed, evolved, that we needed to have. We didn't know that in future we will need English to communicate to someone, but we have faced this issue that it was quite difficult. It was very, very difficult for me to learn English. It was very much difficult. I didn't know how to speak in English, and I didn't have the confidence to speak in English till my graduation, because I didn't had the foundation. I didn't my environment didn't provide me with the foundation to speak in other language. So this is very much important to provide your children with the environment so that they can build their foundation, to have to success in their future life, in professional life, academically, everything, because our whole education is in English. Even documentation in offices, everything is
99% of the things are in English.
Yeah.
99%. So you can know you must know the importance of this language. Yeah. How important it is. And
you cannot just neglect it, reject the idea that this language is becoming important. It would become a very controversial statement to say here.
You would simply say that is dyadic ties.
Yeah.
Dyadic ties means the interpersonal connection of a single individual or a group or a family or an enterprise or entities or something. And it is the entire connection.
Yeah.
तो आप ऐसे connection मिल जाते हैं एक दूसरे के साथ.
बिल्कुल. Okay, sir. Speaking of the initial stages, as we talked about, English in initial stages, how can we, teach our children in initial stages? Obviously, we cannot start directly with grammar and all
जी
these
जी जी
things. That would be too, that would be a higher level for them. So, what basically we can do, so that they learn in their initial stages.
You should not teach them in initial stages.
Okay.
Speak in English with each other and let her listen, let him listen.
Okay. Okay.
Listening is the best trainer. Why do I focus on listening in IELTS? Why do I focus on listening in my English speaking? Why? Because listening is the very important stage. The very important stage.
Yeah.
Now, a child will have the sense of understanding, the sense of utilizing. Do not teach them. I do not want you to take a pen and copy and let her sit in your laps and start teaching this stuff. No. Speak in English with yourselves. Give something to the child to play with, like a toy, a ball, or something. And you guys should speak in English in a bit slow, like in a bit slower way, so that she can listen to your conversation. Means like you're speaking with each other and you're acting as well. Like, for example, I have my daughter in this class. Let's suppose I'm speaking to you, right? And I will say that, Madam, I need a glass of water. So you will stand up, you will go towards the desk, and you will bring me a glass of water and let the child to look at it. That what are they doing? She will have the
She will be
observing
able
power.
to transcribe the actions
Yes,
into words.
she will have the observing power,
Yeah.
and she will say that, okay, Baba has told auntie to go and bring a glass of water.
Yeah.
So what? She will observe that you are an auntie for her and I am Baba for her. So she will observe that, yes, I have requested you to bring me a glass of water and you have given me something to put in my mouth.
Yeah.
And that is the thing which is known as the observing power. This is, madam, the initial stage. Keep doing it for 6 months consecutively.
Okay,
For 6 months.
So we should not start, teaching them directly.
Yes.
Direct
Yes.
teaching of English is not,
Yes.
it's not the way.
Yes. ठीक है.
Providing them with the environment is actually what
with
we
environment.
should do.
Suppose you are sitting in your room and your child is playing with you, right? So play with her and speak in English with her. Does not matter if she understands or not. Just speak in English with her. Why? Because let her ears and let her brain become familiar with English words. Suppose if you're sitting, do not watch Urdu movie. Watch English movie.
This is the same way. In the same way we teach our children our mother tongues. We talk with them in our mother tongue, and they learn it just by listening to it.
Yes. Listening is the very first thing to learn, madam. Not only for kids, for us as well.
Yes, obviously, yes. It
For us
provides,
as well.
Familiarize our minds with the language initially.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir,
This is
for
the plus
explaining it so well.
Yeah.
I got it now. Okay, sir, can you please, we have been talking about the bright future of our children, and how much important it is. Can you please tell us what kind of role does English play in, providing our children with bright future?
देखिए 100 सवालों का एक जवाब इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज नाउ अब देखें मैं ये जो कहानी के जो दो रुख हैं इन दोनों को मैं एक तरफ लेकर आता हूं अगर आपकी इंग्लिश खराब है तो आपका फ्यूचर ब्राइट है लेकिन विद इंग्लिश जो आपका फ्यूचर है उसकी बनिस्बत आपका ब्राइट फ्यूचर फॉर एग्जांपल आप कोई बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर लेते हो आप इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट कर लेते हो उसमें भी इंग्लिश जरूरी है लेकिन आप अपने ही मुल्क में कुछ ऐसा काम कर लेते हो शॉप ओपन कर लेते हो प्रॉपर्टी लेकर बेचते हो यानी ऐसा काम करते हो जो कि आप बिजनेस कर ले उस पर ठीक है वो तो आपका फ्यूचर ब्राइट हो जाएगा ठीक है लेकिन अगर आपकी इंग्लिश स्ट्रांग है तो आप बड़े बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में जाएंगे
स्कोप लिमिटेड हो जाएगा
yes
लिमिटेड
हो जाएगा yes I agree
English language with our own language with anyone if not just our language Pashto or anyone for example German or Japanese or Korean their scope will be limited
yes
with English
because they will be circling under their own language
yes
we will be spreading if you understand English
yeah
ये
You will
बात है
be
ना.
able to communicate with international market. You will be able to observe international market, the strategies and everything, and you will be able to apply this to your own business so that you can grow more.
Yes,
Right?
1000% करेक्ट, 1000% करेक्ट.
Yeah.
तो ये जो है इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज की वजह से एक स्टूडेंट का फ्यूचर ब्राइट ब्राइटर ब्राइटेस्ट हो जाएगा. जी.
Okay. Okay, we have been talking about importance of English in academic life. How will learning English help them in studying better, in understanding better?
Ji, if a child studies, if a child understands English communication, what happens that she or he will better be able to understand the things what he's being taught in the schools. Why? Because if her foundation is good, or if his foundation is good, right? What happens that he will understand all the aspects. He will understand what the teacher is trying to say. Why? Because he will already be in contact with this communication. So that is the case. That how will English help the students to understand what the teacher is trying to say? Is that the child must have, I won't say perfect command, but I would say a fine command, because it is his initial stage. Let him make mistakes, let him commit mistakes, let him do, if she speaks wrong English, if he speaks wrong English, let him do whatever he does, whatever. Do not point him out, do not point his mistakes out, let him speak. Why? Because मेरे वालिद साहब को अल्लाह जन्नतुल फिरदौस में आला मकाम अता फरमाए, वो हमेशा मुझे कहा करते थे कि बेटा आप गिर गिर कर बड़े होगे, गिर गिर कर बड़े
Yeah.
हो गए. The more you commit mistakes, the more you learn. The more you face the challenges, the more you learn. So same is the case with the children as well. If I talk about myself, I've got a good amount of students, right? But I've been teaching for past 9 years, right? And I always say that, okay, if I'm sitting in a class and I'm having good correspondence with the children, I've got a lot of kids as well, what I've taught, right? So I've got good psyche, and I better know how to understand the psyche of the children, right? So that is what you have to, like, you should not teach them, you should discuss with them, you should have a friendly environment with him, so that he does not feel hesitation in doing anything. Means you will be teaching him in a particular way. You will be teaching him about the points and about the rules and regulations about English communication. He will speak in English. He will understand the vocabulary, and he would put the vocabulary in his brain, not on the point, not rapidly, but it will take a specific amount of time. With a rapid change of diversity, means his mind will be diverted towards English communication rather than focusing on Urdu communication. He will go towards the English communication, and that is something what I have to adore, I have to accept, and I have to work on the utterance that yes, if I'm teaching English communication to my kid, he will not face that problem, and he will understand the things better than others. And that is the particular case that we literally go forward and we teach and we train and we tell that no, son, you should not speak in that language. Let us come towards English communication. Why? Because our future is definitely going to depend on it. So, madam, to the conclusion, to conclude your question and to conclude today's session, I must say that the children must understand the English communication. They must be taught with the formal and initial stages of English communication, because if they're not taught, they will face a lot of problems in the future. And that is something not hidden, that is apparent. Even you understand that I am not speaking anything out of the topic, and I'm speaking to the point that yes, it will definitely bring a bright future for them. Why? Because the future is of English, upcoming, the 21st century that we are living in. We can focus and we can see that 99% of the things are in English. Same is the case will be with my children as well. Same is the case with you, and vice versa. Means it will be a very important task if you want your children to be successful. And at last, I also want to give a message to my viewers that do not focus on earning money. Do not force your children to become a child labor. Focus on their education. Let them become educated. Let them understand what they are, and let them understand for what purpose they are in the life, and tell them and teach them and train them that this is not the way you're earning the money, sitting in shops and wearing dirty clothes and all that. Train your children that you literally are going to be educated, you're going to have a white collar job, and then you will receive a high amount of money in shape of business, in shape of job, in shape of entrepreneurship, in shape of any field, but it must be a white collar job. So do not force your children to become child labor, because child labor is a curse. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for explaining it so well. I hope our viewers have learned so many things that they didn't know before. We are concluding our live session for today. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for being with us. Take care.
Yes.
Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah. Thanks a lot.